all right. So before I go into what I want to talk about, because all right. Where I start? Should we talk about power first? No, I'm gonna talk about this first. Then I'm gonna call Jazz and see if we can talk about power. So, I seen a movie for the first time, and I've been wanting to watch this movie. But when the movie came out, I was dating someone at the time that was like super. And please, for my people that have they dogmas and stuff like that, don't attack me, okay? Like, because again, I respect everyone's point of view or their relationship to God and how they communicate with God and all that stuff, right? But the person I was dating at the time, she was like super Christian, for lack of a better word. So anything, like if I talked about the universe, or I talked about crystals, or I talked about fucking astrology, she was like, no, I don't want to hear that or whatever. That's blasphemy and all this type of fucking energy, right? So this movie had came out at the time, and I wanted to see it so bad, but I never got to see it. And the movie I'm talking about is the Book of Clarence. All right, so the other day, right? Because now that I kind of took a step back on the music aspect, and I'm like, all right, let me kind of dive into shit that I used to love. I used to love watching movies. I went through a whole phase where I was just buying DVDs and going home to my first little apartment and running through seasons of like Will Smith, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, then Martin, and about the Wayans brothers, and about Jamie Foxx, and I was just going through like this is before I had Netflix and shit like that. I didn't even know Netflix because it's like 2011, 2012. I'm sure something along those lines was out, but I like physical media, especially now that people are trying to take it away. I'd rather buy a physical copy of a game or a physical copy of a movie than have it on digital. Because what happens if your internet go out? What you gonna watch? Especially if it's not downloaded on your PlayStation. If you just dependent on streaming, you got no internet, you ain't got no entertainment. Anyways, right? Fucking so I seen the Book of Clarence, right? I was on Hulu and I said, oh no, I need to watch this now. And this is so cool, right? Because I had just watched the Odyssey when it came out. I did watch the Odyssey either the first or second day after it dropped. No, I'm lying. It was like a week after it dropped. But I walked into the Odyssey not expecting anything, right? And the Odyssey visually takes place in like biblical times, right? Because was it biblical times? I don't know, because talk about the Romans or the Greeks and all this type of shit or whatever the case may be. So it's relatively around the same time frame, right? So when I start watching the Book of Clarence, granted, I at the time I remember hearing the reviews and wanted to watch it so bad, but I never got the opportunity to watch it because again, the person I was dating, she was tripping on it, and I wanted, and how when you dating somebody that's y'all thing. We watch movies together, so I ended up not watching it. So I seen that it was on Hulu. I said, oh no, I gotta watch this now, man. When I tell you, especially after watching the Odyssey and kind of like, oh, this is kind of like the same time frame, but it's so ill because it has like I love the story. I love the fucking story. I don't know where to start, bruh. I have no idea where to fucking start. But the fact that this is a primarily black cast, right? You have all these characters, these biblical characters, and I'm sure people are like, oh, aren't you into comedic spirituality? That doesn't mean that I don't have an appreciation for the Bible and the characters in the Bible and stuff like that, regardless of how I personally feel. I'm not even, what I'm saying? I don't have to, like, whatever my point of view is my point of view, but it doesn't mean I don't have an appreciation or love for it, right? So the fact that you have all these biblical characters, right, and I feel like they're being portrayed how they're supposed to, because obviously in those time frames, right, and in that area, you dealing with people that are African. You know what I'm saying? They, and oh my God, that little twist at the end where homie was oh my God, hold on, I'll get to that in a second, right? So, when the movie opens up, and I'm like, oh, this is a comedy, because I didn't even know what type of movie it was. I didn't I like the main character. I've seen him in different things or whatnot. And I know he's been in comedies and stuff, but I didn't realize it was a comedy. So like that opening scene where he's on a chariot racing Tiana Taylor's character. I think she's played Mary Magdalene. And just a footnote, right? I mean, I'm sure she getting her praise and flowers and all that shit, but Tiana Taylor is such a good actress. because there's a part in the movie where like it's fucked up that was like stoning her and shit like that. But the way that she yelled and she was showing pain, like you was like, damn, that feels real. Like it feels real the way that, you know what I mean? Because I like how this movie did a really good job of balancing comedy and at the same time not comedy, giving like heart and sentimental moments, and then being like, oh shit, that's crazy, right? Like it was able to give you those feelings in this movie. And I'm so, oh man, so bruh, I just thought the movie was phenomenal. And the story about this guy, he's in love with this girl, and he's in love with this girl, but he owes her brother money. And if he doesn't pay her brother back in 30 days, he's gonna kill him. And the character, he doesn't recognize his self-worth. There's a conversation that the character's mother and the love interest had, and I forgot what she said, but it was powerful to me because she's like, oh, he looks at himself as an ant and doesn't realize he's whatever. I'm butchering the word again. Granted, I'm sorry. I'm not a professional movie breakdowner. This is just my first impressions and just like, you know what I'm saying? But she said something along those lines. I was like, damn, that's how I hope someone look at. That's how I feel about me. So anyways, the dude was like, man, all right, well, fuck it, because he doesn't, and this is around the times of Jesus, so Jesus is walking around doing his ministry, healing people and all that. And he doesn't believe it at all. He's like, nah, I don't. He's like, that's a trick. I don't believe in that shit. And oh man, there's some funny ass scenes. I get to that in a second. So he's like, all right, fuck it. Wait, no, what does he do first? He's like, oh, I'm gonna be the 13th apostle. So his twin brother is a part of the apostles and stuff like that. And he goes to the apostles, and he's like, man, I'm trying to be the 13th apostle. And they kind of laugh at him like, oh, bro, you're a thief, you sell weed and this, that, and the third. It's funny how how they depicted trapping in biblical times is fucking fire. I was just like, oh, this was written so well. This was written so well to kind of like to because you know what also has, it shows you how even through different times, how we particularly do the same type of things. I feel like Sinners was a perfect example of that as well. How you're seeing things from, I think it was like the 1930s where Sinners took place, right? But how even though times were different and circumstances were different, how there's still parallels of how things still are to this day. So anyway, so he goes and his brother's like, his brother shits on him like, oh, you're a nobody and this, that, and the third or whatever. And he kind of snapped on his brother like, what? He's like, how you saying I'm a nobody, but you gonna leave to follow this man and leave your mother and your brother, whatever. And there's certain like subliminal stuff that I feel like there was, man, like I wish I could give like a real in-depth detailed breakdown because it deserves, but I'm sure there's people that really do that. I just want to talk about how I feel about it and what I fucked with. There's a part where it's so dope because there'll be little things that they'll do, right? I remember there's a scene where you see like the Romans like fucking policing the fucking air because they're in Jerusalem or whatnot, and he's like, have you seen this man? And then that he pulls a scroll, and it's like it's a pharaoh or like an Egyptian, and I'm like, that's fire, because again, like a lot, like when you look at these other movies that depict Egypt, they always try to depict Egyptians of like the people that are there now or white folks, like how the movie The Gods of Egypt got all these white folks playing Egyptians when Egyptians, especially in the times of antiquity, were clearly African people. You know what I'm saying? Like even the way that's depicted on the walls and you know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother thing. I'm not gonna get into that because then it's gonna sound like I'm biased to my dogma. But just the reality of it. But I love that it's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? It depicted this African in the Egyptians. And like later on in the movie, he's like sneaking out of somewhere and you see him and he's like, shh. And then he like this. I'm like, what was that? What was that meant to point out? But at least what I took from it is it's like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because that's a true thing. As a matter of fact, I would love, because I think Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan are gonna make a movie about Mansa Musa, which that's gonna be super powerful, right? Because these are the stories that need to be told. But I would love for a director or somebody to make a movie based in that time frame, in the time of antiquity, and have it actually like historically accurate, not this like, because even when you look at a movie like The Gods of Egypt and stuff like that, these are stories, because there's a difference, right? Because Egyptian mythology and Egyptian and Kemetic history are two different things, right? So when you have all these different hieroglyphs, or Medu Neter, right? That's the actual word, but we'll just say hieroglyphs for the context so people understand what I'm saying. When you have all these different hieroglyphs and people translating different things, you have to realize some of these things are like spiritual texts that has some type of esoteric meaning, and then some of these things are actual. It's like people's journals and accounts of what was taking place during those times. There is so much. And we gotta think about it. This Kemet was over 3,000 years, and then they have it separated in like the Old Kingdom, the Middle Kingdom, and the New Kingdom. And that's not what they called it. These are just the people that researched this stuff and then found. Because if you go back to the Old Kingdom and go to like the first pharaoh, which his name was Namer, right? Irony, because he sounds like Namer, but Namer is an African man. If you look at his face, he's clearly an African person. But that's 3,000 years BC, right? And then it talks about the creation of Kemet. Even though yes, there was Sumer at the time, that was also that probably was a little older, but it wasn't a complete civilization. How you had these different tribes come together and then start building, what eventually became, ancient Egypt. And then obviously when you think about, because you watch something like Ancient Aliens, they're like, oh yeah, the aliens built the pyramids. So all right, so we've never seen aliens in our life. Yes, there's UFOs, there's unidentified flying objects, which could be the government, could be some technology. We don't know what these things we see in the sky. We've never seen the alien, but you're going to give the credit to something we've never seen before and not give credit to, which is documented. This is history, right? It's not a myth, and it's not some random story. This is actual history, right? And even the names of the pyramids of Giza, Khafi, Khufu, and Capri. Capri's the last one. I might be the name off a little bit, but these are clearly named off of pharaohs and people that they built it at the time. And then they'll try to be like, oh no, the slaves built the pyramids. That architecture and the way that every stone is built and that the pyramids align with Orion's belt, I beg to differ, but I don't know. I'm not finna, that's neither here nor there. But anyways, seeing the goddamn pharaoh hop out the window, and I'm like, or when they showed the scroll, like, we're looking for this man, I was like, that's gas. That's really gas. I love that there's a lot of subliminal messaging, and there's a part that, damn, I forgot who did it, but somebody got to the main character's head and went like this and like rubbed their forehead, and I was like, oh, they're talking about the third eye. I was like, yo, that's oh my god, the Book of Clarence is amazing. It's amazing. Damn, I want to watch it a couple more times because that was such a good movie. I was like, I had watched it up to the point. My bad. Let's backtrack. Because I get excited. This is, oh man, it's so dope. So, motherfucking all right, so they deny him. They don't. Oh, they're like, oh, if you want to be a part of the 13th apostles or whatever, you go to this place and free the slaves there and bring the slaves back. So, the main character is homie, and they go to this place where they have these slaves that are like training and stuff like that or whatever. And the guy's like, all right, well, if you want me to free all these people, then you have to fight my strongest slave or whatever the case may be. And what happens? All right, so they get in a fight, and then the fight is funny as hell. And it's funny because this character, the way how everyone shits on him throughout the movie, he always it seems like he's always into some shit, and he eventually like conquers it and comes out of it, right? And he doesn't even know how. It's funny because he for somebody that is a non-believer, for somebody that doesn't believe whatever, but it's like he was still moving through God, right? I feel like God moves through you, right, and through the people around you. But so he fights a dude or whatever, he wins, but the guy's like, nah, I'm not freeing everybody or whatever the case may be. So he ends up just now I forgot the brother's name. So he ends up getting free, and then they leave. They come back to the apostles or whatever, and they still don't let him be the 13th apostle, right? So bro's kind of tight, and he's like, you know what? He's like, because he's under the impression that like Jesus is capping, right? Like with the miracles and things that he's doing, it's not a real thing. That's what he believes, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna be the next Messiah, right? So he's like, all right, bet. So he's like, man, look, I need to figure out everything that Jesus did. Let's go visit Mary. That was one of the funniest scenes. He goes to Jesus' mama house, right? He goes, they open the door. Oh my, I forgot this actress name that plays her. But so he's sitting down with Jesus' mom, and he's like, look, you ain't gotta lie to me. You don't gotta tell me about, like, I'm just trying. What did Jesus learn to do all these miracles and trick these people? She's like, this is real. He's like, nah, you ain't gotta cap with me. Mind you, this is not how they're saying it. This is just my interpretation of it. He's like, nah, you ain't gotta lie to me. I know this ain't, I don't believe in this stuff, whatever the case may be. And she's like, no, this is actually real. And it's a funny scene where she look at Joseph, and he look at Joseph. He's like, so you believe that? Like, cause like she you was a virgin, and something that was interesting that is actual historic fact. If you look at, how the Bible is a translation, right? So the word for virgin in like the oldest version of the Bible, in the language that it was written, means unmarried, right? Or I forgot the other word, but it doesn't necessarily mean virgin, right? I mean, but when it's translated through translation, we get to the English language, it eventually becomes the word virgin, but it means unmarried or I forgot the other term or whatever the case may be. But they say it in the movie, and I was like, oh my God, like, who wrote this? Like, who wrote, like, which I should have looked up before. I really just want to talk about it, like, as natural as possible. I didn't do no research or nothing on this. As far as, like, you know what I'm saying? Because everyone did such a phenomenal job. Like, the actors, the story was so powerful to me, right? Again, this might not necessarily be my dogma or whatever the case may be, but there's so much truth in this movie that I was just blown. Like, my mind was blown. I was like, wow, this is one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. Because I love religion, right? Like, I actually, believe it or not, I actually love religious talk and text and stuff like that. I feel like there's so much wisdom and knowledge that you could gain from it, and these are all ways for you to connect to the source, for you to connect to God. Oh man, so I just thought the messaging was so powerful. So the fact that they threw that little Easter egg in there, I was like, oh, that's real though. Like, that's a real thing. And I'm just like, I was mind blown, like, wow, that's fire. Like, whoever wrote this, because I guess that's why comedy is important. I feel like comedy is 50% true and 50% comedy, right? So the medicine was so much in the candy that I was just like blown away. I was blown away. And it's interesting how you have this character that has no faith, yet by the time the movie, which I know I'm jumping ahead, but by the time you get toward the end of the movie, he developed this faith inside him. He became a believer by being a non-believer, which is such an interesting thing, right? Because boom, he starts whatever. So he go talk to Jesus' mama, whatever. And he's like, all right, look, we're gonna start capping. I'm gonna do these fake. I'm gonna pretend that I cured your blindness. I'm gonna pretend that I'm breaking people from death. So then goes through this montage of like him doing all these miracles and stuff, and people giving him money, and he's like, oh shit, I'm gonna be able to pay this debt, and I'm gonna be worthy so I could have the woman of my dreams and all this type of stuff, right? It's interesting because he was moving through this from a not a place of ego, but obviously he's trying to save his ass, right? And it's selfish because he's basically tricking these people into believing that he's another Messiah, right? So But as he collects all, he gains all these followers, and he amounts all this money, and you could see that his conscience starts eating at him. Like you could feel that that like God is speaking through him, like this isn't the right thing to do. So like all the money that he got to buy so he could pay back the person that he owes, he takes that money and frees all the slaves that he wasn't initially able to free like the first time. Right? And I thought that was a powerful scene, because he knows, bro, I'm fucked, bro. I'm gonna die. Whatever. He's like, I'm a nobody anyway. I don't know why that felt some type of way. He's like, I'm a nobody anyway, so I think this is the best thing to do. This would be the best way for me to, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the right thing to do. So he does that, and then that's where it gets kind of crazy, because he goes back to the town. I guess like he sees the girl or whatnot, and then her brother pulls up, and there's like, oh fuck it, we gonna get him or whatever. He thinking like the girl tricked him or whatever to get him, but then as this commotion is happening or whatever, the Romans come, and they're like, oh, they're looking for Jesus, right? And he's like, oh, you people think that you're a Messiah or whatever the case may be. So then they fucking capture him, and it was some bullshit. I'm skipping stuff, and there's probably stuff that I forgot to acknowledge and stuff like that, because there's a lot of crazy shit that happens. But I don't want to spoil too much. Please, if you've never watched the Book of Clarence, just go watch it. Just go watch it. Just go. It's one of the, like I said, it's one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. There's a scene that I thought was super powerful, and I thought it was such a beautiful, like the subliminal messaging was fire. Where he's like, because again, he's been capping this whole time, but everyone believes that he's like this Messiah character, and he knows he's not, right? And he was doing this for whatever intentions was, but people are treating him that way. So when he gets captured and he's saying like, oh, look, I was lying, I did all this because I was in love with this girl, whatever the case may be. He's like, all right, well, they seem not to believe, they believe that you're the Messiah. Look, what I'm gonna let you do is, if you walk on water, right, like they open this freaking cage thing, and if you walk through this water and come to me, then I will be, he's like, I'll be the first Roman to be a believer, some shit like that. And he's scared. He's like, bruh, I've been capping this whole time, like I know this is not gonna work or whatever. So he starts slowly walking, like he puts his first foot in, he's like, I guess I'm gonna drown. Like, it's over with. So he steps on the water, and he's standing on it, and he's like, what the fuck? Like, am I tripping? Like, no, there's no way. And it's funny too, like the way that in the scene, like as he's doing it, you see like the clouds kind of separate, you see like the sunshine, and he's like in disbelief, like, oh man, the actor's so fucking good. What's the actor name, bro? I can't be doing this, bro. Not the actor's name, bro. Cause he's in a bunch of stuff, like he's in goddamn Get Out and all. LaKeith Stanfield, bro, he's such a good actor, cause you see it in his eyes, like the pain and all this type of stuff, where he's like he's in such disbelief, and he's crying like of like excitement, like what the fuck, like, and man, this was an amazing cast. I'm not even gonna lie, they killed the story, the writing, the director, all y'all did y'all shit, and I'm so sorry for being so late. For my dumb ass girl, like, no, you shouldn't watch it, it's blasphemy, that's they're making, I'm like, nah. Anyways, so he starts walking, and then like the Romans, they're like, oh, this is trickery, they jump in the water, and they all start drowning and shit like that. And then the guy capped, because he said he'll fucking let him go if he walked on the water, or he'll join him walk on the water. He didn't. So then they that's when they part where they go like crucify, they're gonna crucify him. And there's some like real impactful scenes, because like throughout the whole movie, his twin brother was kind of like shitting on him, and then they had like the sentimental scene, like him apologizing and stuff like that. He's like, oh, I love you, brother, or whatever. Like that was a dope emotional scene. I'm not giving it justice by the way I'm explaining it. And the same thing when the woman that he loves, he like gives her a kiss through the fucking cage or shit like that, and she's like, you know what I'm saying? Because like it's funny, because this whole reason for all of this shit was for her, you know what I'm saying? So Oh my god! So one of the funniest scenes, right? To me, was hilarious. So, first of all, I don't know why Doctor Strange is in this movie. Benedict Cumberbatch. Why are you in this movie? And it's super funny because because they actually showed like Jesus in the movie, right? So Jesus sees this white dude like homeless dude or whatever, and he blesses him with like this abundance of money or some shit like that. So like every time his hands open, like just money keep coming out and shit like that. And like he walks into this place, it's like, oh, can y'all clean me up or whatever the case may be, because he's all like dusty and all fucked up. So when they clean him up, he looked like the white depiction of Jesus, right? So as he's walking, like people are treated like, oh my god, look at him. so at the ending part, right, which is it's fucking an emotional scene too, because like the dude, Clarence, they have him with like the cross on his back walking, and he's fucking being whipped while all this fucking, you know what I'm saying, while he's walking pretty much like for him to get crucified or whatnot. And that's a hell of an emotional scene, because you see the people that love him, and they're bearing witness to this shit, and it's fucking horrible, right? But what did get a chuckle out of me was, right, because the white guy that looked like the European Jesus was on the cross, and you see someone painting the white guy that looks like the European Jesus on a fucking painting. And I was like, that's probably what fucking happened, because in the Vatican too. I talk about shit like this. Anyways, I thought that was funny, and I was like, yo, these writers are so good. So fucking good. So good. Yeah, bro. I love the Book of Clarence. That was such an amazing movie. I was like, oh my god, bro. I really enjoyed that. Like, I truly enjoyed watching that movie. I'm gonna watch it a couple more times, because I remember like the first day I watched it up to the point where like the Romans came in and they captured Clarence. And then I'm like, nah, I gotta wake up early for work. That's all I was thinking about. Like, I can't wait to get home and finish this movie. But yeah, that was the Book of Clarence. Man, please, if you have not watched it, make sure you watch it. It's so fucking good.